Hey everyone, happy Monday and happy Marketing Monday, of course. Um, Hopping on just a little bit before 2 o'clock so I can go ahead and share the broadcast to my Facebook friends. There you go. Alright, so if this is your first time tuning in to Marketing Monday, my name is Helene Kwong, and I'm the CEO and founder of Hashtagitude, which is a digital marketing agency based in downtown Denver. What we stand for as an agency, of course, we know that businesses enjoy getting those sales. Sales are always good to build your revenue and everything, but in the end, the bigger focus for our sustainable business success is on community, which cannot be easily replicated and makes you stand out from your competitors. So we like to emphasize that, especially to our clients, but of course to everyone else. Community cannot be easily replicated. Business will come and go, but if you have a good community that supports your business, your business will sustain further success over the long run. So this week's theme is about crowdfunding. So today we will discuss what exactly crowdfunding is, why it's maybe a good option for your business, and also different platforms you can consider. But don't worry, we won't leave you hanging with just that amount of information. The blog post will have a lot more information this week. So let's get interactive. Tell us in the comments below who you are, where you're viewing the live broadcast or replay from, and what do you think of when you hear crowdfunding? So I'll answer that question in just a moment. So to start off, Merriam-Webster defines crowdfunding as the practice of obtaining needed funding, as for a new business, by soliciting contributions from a large number of people, especially from the online community. It's a little bit of a dry definition, but overall, crowdfunding is an alternative way for businesses, creators, artists, etc. to be able to raise money aside from the traditional financing routes. The first known use of this word was in 2006, but apparently the first known case of crowdfunding happened in the late 90s, so about 20 years ago. Apparently a rock band decided to crowdfund to be able to have their tour tour the U.S. So I first became familiar with crowdfunding around 5-6 years ago with Kickstarter. I also did my own crowdfunding campaign in late 2012 for my first business on Indiegogo. So that's my experience with crowdfunding, and usually when I hear the word crowdfunding, I do think about those two platforms first. So what is crowdfunding good for? So obviously, as I mentioned earlier, crowdfunding is good for raising money for your business or nonprofit. Over the years, product-based businesses have used the crowdfunding route to get enough capital to be able to create a mass quantity of their product, especially if they were only able to build a prototype. And after building the prototype, these product-based startups were like, well, we need more capital in order to create more of our products for the general public to use. So crowdfunding helps you get your business to the next level without taking out a huge loan from a bank or seeking out angel investors. Of course, there's a downside to crowdfunding, though. It's not all just an easy route to raise money. If you don't have a compelling enough why for your product or service and that's why you're seeking funding, people literally won't buy into it. Next, if you don't properly crunch the numbers beforehand, you may realize after you finish your campaign have raised enough money that you severely underestimated how much money you would need, which of course then that will open up a big can of worms, requiring for you to get more funding in other ways. But anyway, and the third, you could miss out on mentorship opportunities that occur when you go the traditional route of funding. So I mentioned already angel investors and banking. Generally with those two more traditional routes of funding, you can receive some mentorship from these individuals or these institutions and be able to figure out what's the best route to take your business, especially with the new funding. So, you're probably wondering, why are we even talking about crowdfunding as a marketing agency? So, marketing definitely matters in crowdfunding. The video, the copywriting, the perks, everything that goes about like creating your crowdfunding campaign. It all comes down to, well, not only a good product or service, but also the marketing of it. If you're not able to, tell a compelling story in a way to sell to people, persuade your audience to put in even $1 to your crowdfunding campaign, then, you'd have to examine if your marketing was off, because it goes with any other aspect of marketing. If your pay-per-click campaign didn't perform well or got way too few clicks but cost you this much more money, you probably have to examine also your landing page. How is the copywriting on the landing page, etc. So that's another example of why marketing matters, even in something as crowdfunding. I would say especially something as important as crowdfunding and getting extra money for your business. So, types of crowdfunding platforms out there these days. There are actually a slew of them. Real estate crowdfunding has become a bigger topic these days, but I won't talk about that right now. I'll just focus on several that have been around for a bit. So Kickstarter and Indiegogo, I already mentioned them earlier. Both are more focused on creative tech, but I have helped fund projects in home goods. For instance, a portable smashable coffee cup called Stojo, and fashion, the Versalette. So, those Kickstarter and Indiegogo have been around for a while. Indiegogo actually came out in 2007, so about 10 years ago, and Kickstarter came out about 8 years ago. So they've been around the block for quite a while in the tech world. And so I would say that, if you want to consider one of these two as your crowdfunding platform, since they've been around for a while, they would be good for you to consider. There's also GoFundMe, which, you can raise money for all sorts of situations, like taking care of some hospital bills that you had no idea were coming, if something happened in your family, etc., traveling overseas for a missions trip, charity, etc. So GoFundMe is another platform you can use for crowdfunding. There's also equity-focused crowdfunding. One of the best or most successful ones is called Circle Up. It's primarily focused on businesses that are ready to go the next stage of growth in their business. So companies must apply and have at least $1 million in revenue to qualify for applying for their platform. And the last one that I'll mention on this broadcast today is Patreon, which is slightly different from a typical crowdfunding platform. It's more focused on membership-based crowdfunding, but their mission that they list on their website before you actually sign up and everything as either a patron or one who's a creator. They say that they're focused on artists and creators. I was a patron for a couple writers and a knitting pattern designer on Patreon. So it's a good way to get some recurring income for those of you who need the recurring income from creative endeavors. So, in this week's blog post, we will be talking about how to implement marketing into your crowdfunding strategy in order to increase your chances of success. Also, how to get started with having a crowdfunding campaign. I'll probably talk about a few of the lessons I learned from my own crowdfunding campaign and how you can apply my lessons to your journey. So, upcoming events. I will be a panelist at the next Women of Denver Quarterly Networking Party, which is happening on December 2nd, which is a Saturday. Early bird tickets are still available until this Wednesday, so save some money, and I'll drop the link below for you to sign up. Also, newsletter subscribers actually today received the download on what our 2018 events will look like, but I will announce on next week's Facebook Live what #2's 2018 events will look like. So stay tuned for that. Of course, if you want to be in the loop, be one of the first to know in the future, make sure you do sign up for the mailing list, and I'll also drop the link below as well. So thank you for tuning in. Next week we will have a Marketing Monday broadcast, even though I know Thanksgiving is next Thursday. Hard to believe. But we will have a Marketing Monday next week. I guess I'll also just go ahead and give you guys a heads up that we really only have 4 more Marketing Mondays for the year, because we will be kicking off the last 2 weeks of the year. So stay tuned to that. But these last 4 Marketing Mondays for 2017 will be sure to keep your interest. So be sure to tune in every Monday, 2 p.m. Mountain Time, 4 p.m. Eastern Time. I just remembered, on November 27th, that Marketing Monday might happen either earlier in the day or a little later in the day, because I will be in flight. So hope you all have a wonderful week. Take care.